Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for update 37 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off, as always, with a quick sound check. Make sure your speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, to start off with, super obviously, we have a new UI for the M.E.A.T.S system. It is no longer Anton's terribly sort of thrown together, oh, what typeface do I already have imported UI, but a beautiful one done by Lucas, and it's so much cleaner. The typeface is so much more legible in headset. So super happy to get that. But on to some explosive stuff. Let's take a look at the new toys. Those of you who watched last week's devlog know that this update has 3 new machine pistols in it. The M9 Cleric, the Full Auto Tech 9, and the VZ64. So I won't show those again as they're in last week's. We also have one more firearm here. Absolutely beautiful donation. I've wanted one of these for a while, but I just could never find a model that I really loved, especially with this just sick barrel shroud, and that is the Vector 45. So let's take a look at this. Let's go ahead and pop on a magazine. One downside with this, which will be made more obvious if I actually just for a moment enable the having controllers visible. Where am I looking? I swear. There we go. Wow, you can tell how tired I am today. Which is that because of the sort of low profile of the barrel and bolt of this weapon, you can see that the controller sits pretty high up relative to it, which can make it a little difficult to get certain attachments onto the top of the back rail. I just wanted to show this in case you're, say, going to put an optic on. Attach it towards the front of the firearm and then drag it back, and that's how you should be able to get that on. Just wanted to show that as I ran into that very issue during testing. So, whoop, throw that back there. Oh, goodness. Man, it is just a day of little goofy glitches. So, let's take a look at this. Let's pop a magazine in. This 25 round mag. This one, the fire selector, is a little bit different than what we're used to. The left button on the touchpad is going to cycle this between safe and semi. Let's go ahead and rack the bolt there. But to actually engage the other firing modes, namely 2-shot burst and full auto, we actually have to reach up and basically just pull the trigger over this front fire selector, which gives us a 2-shot burst. Look at how fast that sucker fires. And full auto. It is a veritable bullet hose. In fact, let's grab ourselves a it's just if we select a sequence that requires reloading, which I believe, spawn lockable, we won't have infinite ammo anymore. So just watch how fast this thing tears through a mag. Out. Dump. Reload. So fast. I adore it. I love the way this is not just, this is a non-removable barrel shroud. This is not a suppressor. Whew. And gone. So that one's in. I hope you have fun playing with it. It's especially fun in the spray and pray sequences where you don't have to worry about that 25 round capacity. So next up, let's go ahead and spawn ourselves 2 of these bad boys. If you'll remember from last week, I mentioned that the M9 Cleric here was the first part of a 2-part idea, and I'm now ready to show you the second part of it. So let's get these ready. Let's clean up our scene here. Beautiful. Over right here. Excellent. We're nice and centered. We're going to jump into the spray and pray category here, and you'll notice there are some special new sequences here called Cleric Trainer and Cleric Battle. Let's go ahead and load up Cleric Trainer 1. Learn to be a Gun-Kata master. Target position key is on. Fix sequence, memorize it. 2 guns a necessity. So let's check this out. You can see targets pop up from the circle around us, and we have a key in front of us to let us know where they are. Note that these targets each take 2 shots to bring down, or 1 if it's right in the head. Wave 5. Boom! And there we have it. So that's the Cleric Trainer mode. I'm going to go ahead and submit my score here. Note, we now have global leaderboards in addition to local ones. Note, the global one is going to show whatever the name on your Steam account currently is, whereas the local ones are set for whatever it is that you enter it for, if you're playing Hot Seat. Go back, and then we'll take a look at our second new mode here, which is Cleric Battle. In this one, basically, they shoot back. Note, with Cleric Battle 1, the amount of time that they take to shoot is pretty long. It's about 2 seconds, just so that you can really get used to dodging to a different part of the circle, whereas in Cleric Battle 2, they fire very fast. All right, here we go. Note how we see this trajectory line. It fires, it aims at me again. If they actually hit me, I get a white flash. Hopefully that actually shows up on the recording. Shoot! Wave 4. Wave 5. Boom! And done. And the very out of shape Anton is now very winded. This is actually quite a good workout. Go back there. Back again. So, let's take a little break. So we're back after a little bit of a breather. God, I'm such a fat ass that those 2 modes get me so winded. Let's take a look at the other sequences that were added this week. We've got a couple for open season. The way you should think about what this category is that they're almost like I would say almost like equipment puzzles, in that you're given no guidance or restriction on what equipment to take, and you're going to be dealing with a large variety of targets. What this ends up meaning is that you oftentimes want to have a primary and a secondary, probably something that's magnified, but also something that you can sort of shoot at short range accurately. And the 3 sequences that are set up are called Infiltration, bomb defusal, and target juggling. And in the case of, say, infiltration, what this is a sort of set of targets that start really far distance, like IPSC ones. You get closer progressively, and then are fighting sort of, quote, indoors against the Cleric targets. Whereas bomb defusal is about single shots, precision, and lots of no-shoot targets interfering with your ability to draw a bead, all on the clock. So let's jump over here. We've got, for lightning reflexes, in addition to the sort of rapid choice, quick draw, and variety that were added for handgun last update, we've got the same thing for rifle and for shotgun. I've got some more ideas for stuff for this soon, but those are in there now. For SixShooter, which is entirely built around the revolver, we've got some rapid discs. We've got high noon, which is quick shooting against IPSC targets. And we've got that at 3 different difficulty levels. For mental gymnastics, we've got basically, especially after really thinking on the way in which the sort of color matching mode is just not going to work for those who have impaired color vision. I wanted to make sure that they were separated out so that you didn't get weren't kept away from sort of the more mental gymnastics-y sequences by not being able to do that. So we've got Math Blastin' and Stroopin' Colors. It's several different difficulties for both the grids and the color matching, respectively. For spray and pray, in addition to the Cleric ones, we've got some really fast disc and IPSC target sequences like the preview sequence had. And then for downrange, we've got some starter sequences for sort of distant bulls, distant math, and distant guards, i.e. IPSC. And then we've got an experiment I did, which is called secondary switching. The concept behind this one, as you can see, it allows you to take handguns, a bolt-action rifle, and optics, is that you're going to be alternating sequences between having to take several long-range shots in magnification to very quickly jumping over to a sequence with really short-range targets that you have to engage with your handgun. So you're going to be jumping back and forth between 2 firearms to score well in this sequence. So that's all the new stuff. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to play a couple of these sequences for those of you who don't have the game or are still taking a look at it, and then we're going to jump out of VR. So cool. So let's do terribly at bomb defusal. So let's might as well use the new hotness here. Actually, I haven't practiced with reloading this fast. So cool. Spawn lockable, open firearm, semi-auto firearm recommended. Let's see, do I want this? Yeah, this optic will be good. Let's give this a shot. Count up. Just in case. Oh, crap. Ah! Oh, shoot, and there's one behind there. Oh, gotta fix that. Thought I had the counts on those correct. Odds. Oh, should be aiming with my left eye so you guys can actually see it. Oh, goodness. There we go. Note these have a pretty high time bonus, and so the faster you can do them, the better. Ah! Oh, not fast enough. Right. Never do math while recording yourself. You'll just embarrass yourself. Oh, not fast enough. Got it. Still alive. Oh, goodness. Ah! Oh! Terrible! Ah! Oh! Absolutely reprehensible. I did mention these weren't easy, right? Down. Full mag just in case. Whew. There we go. It looked like some of those weren't spin at the right speed, so I think I'm going to go fix that before I push this update. But that should just give you an idea of the way in which the open season sequences sort of mix and match targets. I'm a bronze weenie! Cool, let's try something else. Ooh, I know what we'll do. We'll do some lightning reflexes shotgun. I think I'm going to buy myself one. I love this one. I'm going to spawn that. I'm going to spawn our shotgun here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Load that up. Throw on our glow ring sights, which are my favorite to use with a shotgun. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Lightning reflexes. Let's do let's do rapid choice shotgun. Oh goodness, this is saying something I have on here is, oh, look at that. I forgot to add in the ability to have iron sights enabled onto this one. So I'll have to just do it off the front, and I will fix this as soon as I'm finished with the devlog. Really high time bonus on this one. I don't know if this one's infinite. Oh, guess it is. Note the armored targets take 10 pellets to break. So if you hit off center like that, you got to hit them with 2. Ah, come on. Helps when you got functional sights. Still got silver. Cool. And let's see, what else should we, for a third one, what should we take a peek at here? Well, let's end with just some insane firepower going everywhere. Let's see, since I reset myself, I want to see if I actually unlocked this. No, I didn't, but I still got enough for it. This is probably my favorite SMG. Load that up. And actually, we're going to give ourselves some tracers here. So let's lock that in place. Back to cartridge, screen. Load held. Oh. Beautiful. Let's do whirlwind discs. This one's not very hard. This is a beginner sequence, but in case you're wondering if, like the preview, there was still a sequence where it's just a ton of discs to just go ham on, here you go. There we go. All right, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and jump out of VR.
Yo! So now that we're out of VR, on to the rest of the changelog here, and what's coming up next. So in terms of changes, as you can see, I altered the position of the item spawner, the table, and the garbage can. And this was first done just to make it more convenient for front-facing only users to use the item spawner. And just to and in adding the sort of the cleric mode, just getting people more used to the fact that the only other place to place objects other than the ground is 100% behind you. Let's see, I made it so that if you're doing a sequence or a wave that has the Quickdraw mode, where the warm-up timer doesn't advance until you put your gun in your quick belt slot. Before, if you jumped the gun ever so slightly, it would pause, and then the moment you put it back, the wave would begin. Now, if you accidentally jump the gun and the timer is below 2 seconds, it will reset that timer to 2 seconds. The PX4 and the M9 now decock properly when you engage the safety. Just remember, in that case, if you have a round chambered and you've decocked the hammer, to recock it, you need to click down on the right side of the touchpad, hold, and drag downward, and that will move the hammer back for any of the automatic handguns. I altered the G22 full auto's recoil and sort of wander to bring it in line with what felt appropriate for the rest of the machine pistols. It's no longer this just like full auto surgical instrument. It jumps around way more, which is really, especially after having fired a Glock 18 full auto, I was like, oh, that's how that should feel. Barely controllable. Let's see. Oh, and I also increased the sort of maximum distance that you can point at interfaces in a bunch of the sandbox scenes. I had changed it for M.E.A.T.S to sort of equal the grab ray length, which is 2.5 meters, but had forgotten to do so in the scenes themselves. And then in terms of fixes, the back button in the simulation options menu in the options panel now properly brings you back to the main menu. I tweaked some things involving slide racking on the handguns to make them a little more reliable, fixed the broken lighting in the grenade ski ball scene, and adjusted the sound fall-off curve for several targets in the friendly 45 range that were not audible when they should have been. So yeah, so that's the changelog. So what's coming up next? Well, this one kind of wore me out a bit. So the next update's probably going to be a little smaller and purely just focused on sort of content for existing stuff. So there's going to be some new firearms, and I'm just gonna relax a bit and just worry about filling in some more sequence content, basically, and just chill. I'm probably actually going to do the next update next week because I want to shift the what week updates fall on for an entirely selfish reason, which is that any of you out there who are Games Workshop Warhammer 40k players, I'm doing an Inner Circle army for the contest, and that ends on May 13th. So I did not want to have to be pushing an update while trying to finish painting my my army. So I'm gonna shift that up by just giving you folks another cool firearm or two and some new sequences next week, and then the update after that will be 2 weeks after that. So, well, let me know what you think of the new sequences. Let me know if you run into any bugs, errant behavior, etc. There's so many of them that while I've played through each of them once or twice, it's easy for me to miss things with this sort of volume of sequencer content, especially because it gets tiring running through and iterating on them. So yeah, let me know if anything's busted, and of course let me know in the on the Reddit threads for this video what your favorite sequences end up being that you play through, because it will help inform me as to what you folks want to see more of. So yeah, so hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Peace.